Hello everyone, this is Bethany from Southern Couture, and I had so many requests to share how I make stickers using my Cricut machine. Now you do not have to have the newest Cricut, which is the Maker 3 or the Maker. If you have a Cricut machine, Explorer, Air 1, those machines will also do this, which is what is so great about being able to make your own stickers. So I am cutting my stickers and using them for my Bible journaling and my Bible study projects that we have been doing recently. And most recently, I cut them out for Bible University. And so many of you were wanting to be able to do the same thing, especially when you have designs that have more intricate cuts. It's really hard to get those very precise when you are fussy cutting yourself. So this is a great tutorial not only for Bible journaling and those types of things and stickers you may use like I do, but for planners, for any kind of printable files or downloads, digitals that you want to cut out. You can now do it using your Cricut machine. So do not be intimidated. We are going to go step by step to show you. I am doing this on the Cricut Design Space app on my iPad. But you definitely, if you're doing this from desktop, it may look a little bit different as far as the app and the screen. But if you head over to my blog, down below in the description, there will be a link to today's blog post, and it is going to show you screenshots of the exact same things I'm doing here, but it will be of the desktop. And so the wording is going to be the same. It might just be that it's in a different place, but those screenshots will be of the desktop so you can see it step by step. And also the instructions will be written out for you, listed very easy. So if you need to go back and re-reference this later as you're making more projects in the future until you're comfortable with it, you can definitely check out that list, or of course here's the video if you want to go back and see it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is the homepage for Design Space opened on my iPad. I'm going to be uploading one of the ephemera files for Bible University, and this file of course is in a PDF. With Cricut, you cannot upload a PDF to have it cut it out for stickers. You need to have it in a compatible files. They have several different options. I like to put mine into a PNG. So what I'm going to show you is I've already got the files downloaded here on my iPad, and I'm going to go over to my browser, and I'm just in Safari, and I like to use this website. I'm sure that there are lots and lots of different websites that you can use to do this, and with your desktop and maybe certain computers, you can even maybe convert it there. I'm not the computer guru with that type of stuff. That would be my husband. But I do know that this works for me. It's simple. I've learned how to do this, and I know you can do it too. So go over into your browser on desktop as well, and I have used this website that you'll see here, pdf-to-png.com. It's very simple, and as you can tell, I had this over here working with it earlier. So I'm going to go ahead as if it was a blank slate and you had just opened it. You will click Upload Files, and now I have them saved here on my iPad, and I have them saved under on my iPad, and then here they are. So what it's going to do is upload them. It is changing them into a PNG, of course, converts it, and then when it's done, it will be sitting there waiting, and all you do is click download. So then I'm going to say, yes, I want to download it. It will download it as a zip file. So what that means is that basically you have I will show you under my files now, and this is going to be under downloads. So when it downloads, make sure you check that download folder. I was on my iPad, but I'm now on downloads. So I have the file here, and it's a zip file. So I had it on here from earlier, and that's why you're seeing that there's two almost identical. But it's a zip file, so what you're going to do is just click that, and when you double click it, you're going to have it open up in its own folder. It's just a nice way of downloading that, and then you're going to double click on this one, and then you will see all of the files are there that are included in that ephemera set. So what we'll have is now the files opened. If you had just left them as they were in this zip, you wouldn't be able to open it in Design Space. So it is very important you double click it so that it opens it and divides them in that folder. Okay, so now we have them converted. That's your first step. You need to get them converted so that you have them as a compatible file for Design Space. So now we're going to go over and hit New Project. Like I said, may look a little bit different than it does on a desktop, but all of the words, buttons, things like that are very similar in the way they look. It should be pretty simple to do it on desktop compared to this, and that blog post will also have all of those step-by-step screenshots for you too. So now we have a blank canvas. We can now go over and we're going to upload that file that we want to use from that ephemera. So we're going to hit Browse Files, and I have it here on, this is the ephemera. This is my PNG file, and now here it is. So this looks a little bit different than it does on desktop. This is giving you a preview. We haven't messed with it yet, but it's going to give you a preview of where the cut lines are going to be. So right now it just sees it as one big black box, one big thing to cut out. There's nothing done yet. And you're going to want to, if you've used any kind of design software, you're very familiar with this. If you haven't, no fears, it's very easy, but you will hit Remove. Okay, and like I said, if you're feeling confused on desktop, just check out those screenshots and they will make this so much easier for you, because I'm going to show you exactly and where to click. But you'll hit Remove, and what you're wanting to do is it says tap areas that you want to remove, and you're basically wanting to get rid of any of that background space that you do not want included on a sticker. So we just click that background. It'll take just a second, and this is what you have. This is what it's going to be cutting out. Now, if files are not designed to be a PNG or a cut file, sometimes things are going to look a little bit wonky, and you're going to have to just play around with it. And I'm going to show you some tricks and tips to do that so that your stickers will come out almost perfect. So on this one, you see this little ruler here. Well, see that circle? How cute would it be to have that circle cut out precise? Because it would be very hard to cut that out with your own stickers. And when you look over to the black box over here, there is not a place for that's cut out. So I'm going to click it, and now you'll see it's now there, cut out. It's going to cut that little dot out. And then on our globes, they have some intricate details here. So I'm going to zoom in, and I just zoom in on my iPad using 2 fingers, and I open it up a little bit closer for us, and then you can take your pencil, and this little area in here that's white, you don't see the pattern check, so you know that it's including that as part of the sticker. If you will click that right there, it is going to take that out, so you're going to get a cut line that will be adorable for that globe. Okay, so now we have it all cut out on the globes. Perfect, right? And you can even see over on the little preview box that that is now gone. One thing that I also like to do when I am working with files like this, and before I get to that, if you look at the highlighters, it looks like they're going to cut them out in some weird looks. So if you will go down to the bottom, I did not notice that it did this on my desktop, so just kind of look and see what yours does. It may want to do a little bit something different, and every file, of course, it's going to be different depending how it was designed. But you will want to scroll down all the way, and it's going to then pop that. So now it's going to show those highlighters as one solid object. My desktop did not have me do that. iPad, maybe the app does things just slightly different, but if it does that, no worries. You can easily just slide that down, and you will have that full image. And now you see it doesn't have those crazy little like cutouts that it was wanting to do. The other thing that I do is I make sure that I have all of those, I've got the little dot on the rulers. This is a pretty simple design here. There's not a lot of details of needing to go through. If you're using alphas that you're wanting it to cut out, which is so much simpler than cutting those out yourself, which we have some free ones with Bible University, you will want to go through like your A, and you will put a dot or, tap inside that A so that it will cut out that inside space if you want. So that will take you a little bit more time to do, but this was a pretty simple file, and so we're good. You can also move this box around so that you can see your files or that part of the design if you need to. One other thing that I do like to do, I like to keep the title, because I use that title Bible University as a sticker when I'm working through with my printables. One thing that I don't always need is necessarily this part here that has the artist. And it's great if you want to keep it as a sticker, but if you're not going to need it, if you look at your black box over here, it's going to be cutting out all of those letters, and it will take the machine a little bit of time to do that. You're wasting your blade, and it's just not necessary. So if you will hit erase, and then you want to be careful about how big you have, you'll see that's how big or small you have your like eraser. So you want to get it where it's small enough that it doesn't hit any of the other designs, and of course, are not too big that hits other designs, but not too small that it takes you forever. And then you'll see now that it is completely gone. So I have all of that done. You have other options down here at the bottom. You can crop things if you need to. You can hit undo or redo if you mess up. Like if I was to accidentally, let's just say I went to remove and I clicked that. Obviously, we don't want that to be gone. We want a solid white box there. I would just hit undo. Of course, it brings it right back for me. Okay, so that's that part. Next, we're going to get a preview of what it looks like. Now, the desktop may do this. I've never done this on the desktop, so I really liked how it did it on the app. You're seeing everything and how it's going to be cut out. So it's not, of course, black. You're going to print it, but that's just how it's showing you. Now, down here, there are some options that you have for despeckle. So one thing that does, if I had left that title up here that said Top Knots and Jesus and Salted Brew, and I hit despeckle, it would have taken that away. So when you're erasing things, if you were to accidentally miss part of a letter, and let's say we accidentally left part of the T and we didn't get it just perfectly erased, that despeckle would take that part of it away for you. Or any little, I like to think of it as like any frayed little pieces of fabric or thread that you left, it would get rid of it. Now, on this, I really like this option down here. So we're going to hit smooth. And what it does is, like, if you'll look on the highlighter tips here and on the sides of those markers, it has those wavy lines. And on the apple, it's going to cut out those little circles, maybe a little funny. If you hit smooth, you're going to see that it will... And you'll see it's continuing, like it smoothed out the apple there. And on this one, on that marker, it made those lines not as wavy. You can keep hitting that, and it's just going to keep making it chunkier and chunkier without that that dimension to it. But I liked hitting it that one time just to get that a little bit smoother. So now we're done. You can always hit reset if you accidentally, were to mess up. And now we're going to go up and hit next. So now we're going to need to name this. And I'm just going to name this BU. And I'm going to name it test so I don't get it confused. And of course, we're not just cutting them out. We're going to actually print, then cut. So we're going to hit save once we've selected that option. And now we have all of our files, and you'll see all different files that I've uploaded before, the alphas for Bible University. So we have our image. That's the most recent one. Then we'll go and hit insert. And now we have it on our canvas. Now, when you see your layers, and this is how it looks on desktop as well, you get this little orange triangle, like a warning sign, and you click it. It's telling you that your image is not going to be supported by your maker, and I have my machine set to maker. Of course, your design space will have whatever machine you're using. And reason B is because it is going to be too large of a size for it to be print and then cut through the machine. So you've got to get it down to this 6.75 by 9.25 or less. So I'm going to do 9.25. So we're going to click to have our option or our design selected. And the way you do that is just clicking on it, and you'll know it's selected because it has the box around it, of course, with those options. Now, on desktop, a lot of things are up at the top of the screen and the sides. On this one, they're at the bottom. And so I'm going to go here to Actions, and it might be Edit, actually. Yes, Edit. So I think it said, was it 9.25? And I'm going to hit that, and then it will actually change it. But I think it's the width. It's 9.25. So let's do Let's do 6.75. And I think that will work. Yes. So now my little triangle is now gone, and I know that this size is going to work for me to cut on my machine. Now, one thing that you are going to want to do is this Bible University. If I went to cut it out, it's going to cut this out letter by letter. And I want it to cut it out as one sticker saying Bible University. And so that's what I mean. You're going to want to play around with the design. So you may, depending on whatever type of design, you may have something similar. And you're like, I want that whole word to be cut out as one. And if you don't mind that it has a solid white background or whatever, then you can do this, okay? If you're wanting the letters and they're larger and you don't mind placing those letters individually as one big word on your Bible page or whatnot, then don't worry about it. But the letters are small and more detailed. I want it just to print as one sticker. And the way to do that is a little trick. So you're going to go to Shapes and you're going to want to get a square. Okay, now you have your square. And I want to get my square over here so that I'm not constantly on top of this. And you want to unlock it so that I can move it and do whatever I want with it, right? And basically what I'm going to do is get it to where it is going to be one shape behind the word Bible. And I want it to be white. So go down to the bottom to edit and you'll see the colors. And then I'm going to make it white so that, well, let's see. No, let's just leave it. I'm sorry. That is a good thing. You can see. You could change the colors if you wanted. But for right now, I'm going to leave it like this so that I'll be able to see where it's at underneath the word Bible. One thing, though, you want to do is under Edit, you're going to hit Arrange. And the reason you're doing that is because you're going to want to move backward. So now now your box is going to be behind this design. See that? If it had been on top of it, it's really hard for me to know where I want to line that up. And if you started messing with it right here and you still have it selected, you can still do that and you can get it. So I'm going to try to get this. I want to have it lined up so that it will cut on one sticker. Okay. And I might need to make my box just a little bigger. So this is just part of it. You're just playing around with it till you get it the way you want. And so you're just going to adjust it. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to do the same thing so that we have a box for University. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. Shapes. Do another square. And let's bring our square over again. It's already unlocked. So we can adjust it to the right size. Let me pull it over and we'll see what that kind of looks like. Also, let me go ahead and we want to arrange it to the back so that we can see what we're doing here. And we're going to want to make this a little bit smaller. Oops. Okay, so now that we have our squares under Bible University, we need to make those new elements that we added one solid design along with the printables that we've already uploaded. And in order to do that, you're going to want to have every element under your layers selected. So to do that on the iPad, you're going to hold down and just hold on each one, and then you'll see that it becomes one solid unit with that blue line around every element. And they're all highlighted on the layers as well. Then we're going to go over to flatten, and that's down at the bottom. If you go under Actions, then Flatten, and when you hit Flatten, you'll notice over under Layers that it becomes one image. Instead of having those 3 different layers, we have just the one layer. But you will see now that we have this little triangle with the orange, exclamation telling us that our size is not supported by our machine. It needs to be 6.75 by 9.25 or less because we added those squares. So I'm going to go down to the bottom and do that real quick. And we're going to go under Edit, and then we go to Height. We're going to put in 6.75, and then that should make it better. Yes, and now the triangle is no longer there, and we are good to go. But I'm going to go ahead and just click Make It. So you'll wait just a second. And so now you'll see here is what your mat with the file on it is going to look like. So if you have some white sticker paper, which I'm going to go over once I show you the machine and actually putting the mat into it, you would have your paper put on your in your printer first. And what you'll do is hit continue. But this is just showing you a preview of what it's going to look like. And that little box there is showing you that we've got it attached together with that Bible University so that it will cut that out as one big square. We're going to go ahead and you would hit print. So obviously I'm not going to be doing that here, but I wanted to show you what it's going to look like, and I will then move forward with showing you the machine. But when you look at the file here, you'll see again that box is not there. Like I said, that is only for cut purposes, not for printing. So pretend that we've hit print, and then once it's printed out of your machine, you're going to go over and hit continue. And this is going to show you a little bit of what your settings and how it's going to be for the maker or your machine to know what you're doing. So if you click that little arrow, it will have said that it's already printed as we had already hit print. If you were doing multiple files, you could go and click over on the left side and you could hit send to printer and go ahead and print your other files if you had loaded multiple ones. If you wanted to, something didn't print right, it messed up in your printer, you can just hit send to printer and it will prompt you to print again if you need to. So now we're going to go to set material. And when you're doing stickers, you have your sticker paper obviously has that backing on the white sticker part of the paper. What you want to do is hit vinyl. And that is the material that you're going to use because it is just going to do a cut down to that backing. It will not cut all the way through. So that is key to make sure your material is set to vinyl. Your pressure can be on default. You could change it to more or less depending. But for this, the material is not thick that you don't need to have it, more. If you do find, though, that you are cutting all the way through, depending on your sticker paper, you may want to hit less and just test it and play around with that part. But I've been fine with just using default. So now we would have load tools and mat. It's going to tell you that you want to put your fine point blade, which is the blade that comes with the machine. So you are good there. Make sure that one's in there. It will also sense before it starts cutting to make sure you have the right tool in there. And then you, of course, would load your mat, put your paper on your mat, and you want to line it up just as you see here on the screen. So it needs to be in that top left corner. The designs need to be laid exactly in this same direction as what you see on the mat. Those black marks around it are where the machine will scan, and it will know exactly where it needs to go to cut. And when it does print out, and you'll see this on the previous screen, it looks almost like some of the designs have this blurred look around them, and it almost makes it look like they're going to print, and when they do print out, they have this blurred line around them like it didn't print clear or it's not smooth. That is just where the machine is going to cut around it, and it knows where to cut when it goes and scans through. So do not worry about that part. Then once you have your mat loaded, you would just go down, and it knows that my mat's not loaded, so it's not letting me right now. But then you would hit press go. Okay, so now our machine has finished cutting, and we can just press that little flashing arrow button and take out the mat. Let me close up the machine so you can see a little bit better. And so now I have my printables all cut out here, guys. It's incredible. When you use that vinyl setting and you print on sticker paper, you are going to be amazed at the quality that you get for your own stickers. It will go through sometimes, like you might see a spot here or there where my machine wanted to kind of like almost cut through. There it is. But it's not doing it on every single one that you're going to lose them or that it's hard to get off the mat. You can still peel it off in one sheet. I'm going to show you this globe because the quality of that precision when it cuts that extra detail right there is amazing. You would definitely not be able to get that when you did it with your own scissors. So that's awesome. And the blurry line, like I mentioned before, that you might see around your images is just where Cricut has added that so that it will be able to know where a definite line to cut it. But when you peel it off, you're not getting that blurred area with it at all. It stays on the backing there. Now, I talked about adding that extra box or two to this Bible University so it will not print it out as individual little word or letters, and you'll have one sticker. And so what's really cool is it does exactly that. And I want to show you how I used mine. So I have my setup here with my 3-ring binder, and I used mine as one big sticker to go over the as a label, you know, for my binder there, and I loved how that worked out. You could use them, you know, on a Bible journaling page or however you wanted to, and that would be great. So now you have yours. A lot of times I will like maybe cut them down, and I'll show you what I did actually with mine. So I have all of mine in my binder here that I'm using for BU. If you are working through Bible University, if you're not, then this may not be relevant to you if you're just curious how to make the stickers. But I will talk about the sticker paper in just a second. But I wanted to show my stickers that I did print out. So I've already used some of them. And so here are some of the other pages that came in our set. And I did the same with cutting all of those out. And look at these scissors. So you would not be able to cut out the middle of the scissors and get that really cool effect, you know, and have it very nice and sharp cut with just using scissors to cut it out. And so here's that one. See, I peeled that one right off and used it. So it's amazing. One thing I really like about it is using it with alphas. No way am I going to want to try to fussy cut out all of these, but when you do it with the Cricut, look at this. It's incredible. So there you can just peel up your stickers and you have all these alpha stickers. That's what I really love about it the most. So those are the printable stickers that I've already done with my machine that I use. And so I want to show you the sticker paper real quick that I have, and I will leave it linked down below in the description, so make sure you head down there. This is how it arrived. This is from Amazon, but it's a pack of full sheet shipping labels, of course, white, not clear, matte, or they are matte but not clear, just white, 8.5 by 11 shipping label. You need that full size, because if not, and you get like, you know, a bunch of 4x6 or something, your stickers are going to be all cut up and crazy. And so you want it to be a full sheet shipping label. And this is 100 sheets, so it just came in this box with all of those. And as you can see, it has that backing on it right here at the corner, and then it's all white. So the 100 pack, I believe when I got it was like $11-ish, which is an incredible price for sticker paper. And then if you get 50, it was like 8 something. So go ahead and grab the 100 because it's such a much better value if you're going to want to make, you know, a lot more stickers and use it for some time. You know, you could even fussy cut them if you had other things you wanted to do, but it is great for the price. I was amazed, and it does really well, and that's why I'm really happy with it. So there you have it, guys. That is how you make your own stickers using a Cricut machine. And if you have any questions, please, please, please don't hesitate to ask down in the comments. You can leave it. You can send me a message on Instagram, which I check very often, or even an email. But I will say, if you are wanting to know more about the desktop and how to click through, I have made extensive notes and lots and lots and lots, I'm telling you, lots of screenshots using the desktop for what to click. It's all very similar to the iPad and to the app with wording and things like that. Very, very similar. Maybe a few things are just in a different place. But all the screenshots for the desktop are over there on my blog. So down in the description, I will leave a link where you can click to get that. And then you could always reference it if you want to go through, if you're working on a project, instead of going back and forth on the video, you can go over there too to see those written directions all listed out. All right, guys, it has been a joy for me to show how to use the stickers with the Cricut, because I have found that it is so much easier, so much fun. I can't wait to do it with lots of other files that I have, and I hope you will too. If you have any questions as well about Cricut machines, you're kind of curious on different ones and things like that, down below as well, I will have a link to my blog where I have some other Cricut tutorials and blog posts talking about different Cricut machines and things that you can do with them. So if you're interested in more information there, you can check out that. And I hope you will grab your Cricut if you haven't already. There's links down below to the products, to the Cricut machines, and all the things that I use today that will help you. All right, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon. All right, bye-bye.